Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino American Community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Leighton. We have Brigitte Rita Carino. All these are coming up and more after word from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Typhoon Marsa made its presence felt in the northern part of Cagayan as it whipped coastal municipalities with strong winds and torrential rains. Storm surges also threatened affected communities. This police station in Santa Ana, Cagayan experienced first-hand Marsa's wrath. After powerful winds rippled its door. Howling winds also swept through the villages of Casambalangan and Palawig in the town of Santa Ana. The weather disturbance also triggered the evacuation of more than 1,800 residents in the municipality of Calayan. Also in Calayan, residents living along the coastline of Balatubat village left their homes due to the storm, while fishermen brought their boats to shore so they won't be swept away. According to the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, more than 4,000 families have been evacuated from 12 towns in Cagayan. 4 overflow bridges in Cagayan are also impassable to motorists due to flooding and debris. Meantime, more than 1,000 people have been evacuated in the coastal town of Isabela. The towns of Maconacon, Palanan, and Divilacan are also isolated due to the lack of public transportation. At least 7 towns in Cagayan are without electricity, while communication is also unstable. Marsa also dumped heavy rains in Ilocos Norte.
Yung ating mga search and rescue vessel ay pinaghanda na rin po natin. Tinitiyak po natin na yung pong mga bangkang sasakyan at iba pang kagamitan ay nasa ayos.
Yung iba po ay naka-standby in order to assist in relief efforts and search and rescue operations as need be.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down and down. It's happened during every economic cycle, and it will happen again. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value and sometimes grows during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
ViaTimes, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. ViaTimes for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. ViaTime has very interesting columnists. You name it, ViaTimes has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call ViaTimes at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of this show. Today, I have a very interesting personality. Some of you may be familiar with her already. She's a very popular figure here in Chicago and a very strong leader, a religious leader. All right, help me welcome Miss Rita Carino-Cueter. Miss Rita Carino-Cueter. Okay, Rita is the founder of the Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group here in Chicago, but it is internationally renowned group. All right, welcome to our show, Rita. Please,
Thank you.
Please, can you please tell our viewing audience about the purpose and mission of the Catholic Charismatic Group?
Yes. In 2010, 2011, I created this because the Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group on Facebook, it's because people who cannot even go to the prayer meetings like usual Filipino groups here and there, they have prayer groups all over the world. They meet, but people cannot always go because they may be sick or they're busy with their children or they're busy with their businesses or works. So I thought, and there should be a corner where you can express your faith in this world because in this lifetime, because if you are in actual meetings, you are controlled. Where in fact, if you are on Facebook and you are just writing your thoughts about your faith, you're just so inspired about it. And wishing that I can reach to the farthest part of the world. My thoughts about God, about the Holy Spirit, about Jesus Christ, about Mother Mary, it is a blessing that this was taught by me, of course, infused by the Holy Spirit, that Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group was founded in 2010 or 2011. And in 2018, I think, or 2019, I'm not very sure of the year, but Miss Veronica Leighton here interviewed me like this, but that time I was very, very sick of cancer. And she said, please, I want to interview you. And she did interview me about the CCPG but I was so bald that time. And we only have 60 members, 58 members, actually, that time. And because of her encouragement, Miss Veronica Leighton here encouraged the group to just open it up and boost it up. And yes, now we are very happy, 319 members already all over the world. And we are helping each other, praying for each other when there's like emergencies like that, brain tumor, cancer. So we pray for each other, and they also sent to us the results that it was successful, and they're very thankful. There was suicide that we've been praying for a 15-year-old, and she survived. She's now graduate in high school, and we rejoice for this. You know, this is our contribution for the world, for this life.
Very, very interesting, Rita. Thank you for mentioning my name. I didn't know, I never had any idea that I was one of your inspirations.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. I'm having goose pimples. All right. Wow. Okay, now, okay, you are accomplishing what you've been wanting to do. And through the help of social media, you are really doing a great job reaching out to as many people as you want to, and more inspirations that you get every day while you do it too. Okay. Wow, what a very, very inspirational statement from you. So you started with about 50 some people, and right
59 that time when you interviewed me is 59 people, members. Canada, Australia, Philippines, all over US, but we were only 59 members. Now it's 319, including Africa, Uganda. All these are prayer leaders all over the world, and they are beautiful.
specific number? You have a specific number?
319 members now.
How much?
319.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Sister Rita Carino-Cueter. All right, very good. So, what specifically do you do with your program in reaching out to people?
The Catholic Charismatic group, prayer group, was founded as an inspiration. So even in here in Chicago or wherever I go, in Florida or wherever I go, I make sure that I do inspire. I'm because God always is with us. So because of that, we are a walking representative of Jesus Christ to the people, you know, and they too, with us and to everybody. So what we show as an example to others, it's it's like we owe that from God, who created us so lovingly. He blessed us, even just by waking up today. It's a great blessing, you know? So when I meet people, even in the restaurant or in the market, I do like shine on them. I believe that God sent me, led me into this place, in the market, in the church, in the playground, in the swimming pool, in the gym. It's like I'm here for a reason. I got to affect somebody's life. And all this inspiration that God bring into me, I share it to my little stories in Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group, and people read it. Of course, they silently read it because they're scared about spammers or so. But, I really choose who's to be a member because of the spams, the scammers. So we really have to check them before they even become a member. So our Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group on Facebook is very, very safe. And I assure you, we don't just approve anybody. We ask questions. And if we can affect one in a day or in a year to become a positive effect into this world, and that one will affect another one, this world will become a better place. It's just too much of greediness, of selfishness. It's just too much with so many people. And now if one can show and another one can show love and kindness, little by little, this world that we are in, this planet Earth that we are in, will be populated with great, positive, and loving and kind people. Why not? Let's do it together.
All right. Wow. Really, I can feel the power and the strength of your mission. And I'm happy for you, Rita. And what plans do you have in the future for expanding the group?
We do not expand, but we extend more and more inspiration for people in different areas of the world to be more of a positive effect to others. We encourage all these bases. Actually, we have so many prayer leaders all over the world that are members of this Catholic Charismatic Prayer Group. And I have a program, the Project 90 Up, and also the Love and Kindness to the Whole World, One Soul at a Time project. And that is the red heart that I always distribute to everybody who I observe who are kind to others. And these things we will be, I'm slowly delving into that for the members, that all over the world we will be the big missionaries for what? Love and kindness to the whole world, one soul at a time. If we do that, even one in a year or one in a lifetime, we are a great missionary for God, for love and kindness to the world, to populate this world in a positive way. We only live once. When God calls us, we cannot say no because we did not do something. So we might as well do something that when he calls up, we'd gladly say, yes, I did something. I'm with you, Lord.
Terrific. Well, nice to hear some God messages from your mouth, and you as God's spokesperson is really doing a great job, and you are not doing it just locally, regionally, or in limited space, but you are doing it, reaching out there to the world, to the global world that we have been reaching so easily these days, right, Rita?
Yes.
Okay, I thank you for gracing our show today, and please keep us updated about your mission, and please will try to invite you again in our show, because it's nice to be hearing some really godly messages from time to time in this show, right, Rita?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for.
Feel young and feel
All right.
better and
Thank
better
you
every
for.
day.
I think he is one of your inspirations, and Rita is really a great influencer. We'll talk to you later, Rita.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye!
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat, and welcome to Veronica's segment of this show. Today, I have three very interesting young Filipino American leaders in our community. And believe it or not, I really saw these kids growing up almost. And I'm telling you, I'm so excited. And most of all, this lady here, Joy Molano. Oh, Joy, since she was a very little girl, I've seen her. I used to go to their place. Her mom was a good friend of mine. Hi guys, welcome to our show. And these young leaders are officers of a very, really old organization, and it has been there serving the community in the west suburbs. It is now called, it used to be Filipino Friendship Society of Bolingbrook. Now it's only known as Filipino Friendship Society. And these are the top officers of the organization. Let me introduce first the president, Michael Palmera.
Hello.
And the vice president, Choi Molano Vergara.
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Rex Balsita. Wow, these kids really came.
What's up?
From families. Really, their parents were my contemporaries, believe it or not. And I'm so happy to see these kids really growing up to become leaders of the community. Welcome to our show. Okay.
Thank you.
We're happy to be here. We are so happy to be here.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for gracing our show today. All right. First things, what is, whoever would like to answer, what is the FFS, or Filipino Friendship Society?
The Filipino Friendship Society. Yes. The Filipino Friendship Society was first started in 1974 by like-minded Filipinos who wanted to create a group where they can share their values, their traditions, and and their culture. So in 1974, we were new in Bolingbrook. We were just months new. My father, Nick Palmyra, was visited by three people: Rudy Molano, attorney Doria, and one other member I can't remember. But they tried to convince my father to help them create an organization here in Bolingbrook, specifically for Filipino Americans. And that became the start of the FFS, where my father wrote up the articles of the Constitution for the FFS, and we started gathering people together, going house to house to recruit new members. And since people worked during the day, we had to go house to house at night, and uh, they it was very successful. People, mostly the wives of the families, were pushing the husbands to join, and we all got together and we formed the FFS, and it was a very interesting start. Seeing that here in Bolingbrook, when we first started, it was all farmland. There were barely any houses. So when we needed help to build our yards, our homes, we recruited other Filipinos in the community, because back then there weren't we couldn't just call like a gardener to come out, because they didn't exist back then. So other Filipinos would come out, and then would help people put out the new grass on their lawn, help with their backyards. It was incredible. So that was basically our start, and eventually we grew to participate in the community with the parades, the Bolingbrook parade, our first float, our first entry. We actually won three prizes in the parade, and which really garnered more Filipinos to join us. So that was a great event. So yeah, that was basically our start.
All right, very good. When it was founded, I remember I was there. I attended the first inaugural ball.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
FFS. All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. These days, since you took off the name Bolingbrook, what areas or suburbs is this organization serving right now?
We're serving areas around Aurora, Joliet, Naperville, basically the surrounding suburbs of the western suburbs around Chicago. So we actually have members as far as North Chicago, and even some members in Indiana. So yeah, it's we're pretty much spread out.
Okay. Yeah, Joy. Okay, I've seen you always accompanying your mom or your dad around that time. Okay, now that you're an officer of this organization, you are the vice president of how do you see yourself serving the organization?
Hi, Tita Veronica. It's good to see you. Thank you to Rex and you for scheduling this historic time, actually, as we're coming back and reuniting. As vice president, trying to help get some of get reorganized and re-energized with the group, and helping our executive board, and trying to connect with members, and help really. I think we're going back 50 years when we were forming with our parents were forming the group, and we all have to do a little bit of everything. In starting an organization, a community organization, a business, what have you. It really takes a really large team effort to restart and energize a group. So just trying to play the role that I can to help Michael in his presidency, but also uh trying to work with the board and help each other in our collective goals that we have, and remind families. I think one of the roles that I play in particular, now living here and raising my family, being able to connect with new families that are in the area, connect with old friends. RJ and I were in the dance troupe with Auntie Alice. And so with Michelle, Santa Maria, Calma, we were all in the dance troupe around the same time. So trying to bring the generations back where my sisters have friends from the beginning. They were a little bit older than Michael, but they were the teenagers of FFS when it first started, and they remember the Christmas parties and the picnic and the cotillions and the Santa Cruz Suns. So trying to connect, our families that are still here from the 70s and connect them to what we have today and the future.
All right, very good. Okay, how about Rex? Rex, how do you see, the involvement of these young leaders? How do you see yourself as one of them, and what do you plan on doing to make the organization to become bigger and more serviceable to the community?
Yes, thank you. And hello, Tita Veronica. And I must just say that it really is an honor to be in the presence of an icon and a celebrity of Chicago. You are known all across, and I'm really a little nervous being around, having being interviewed by you. You are a celebrity. Everybody knows you. So yes, with FFS, it's funny because I think the story of the new board and the second gen taking over, it kind of just unfolded really naturally. All of us didn't really know exactly how we were going to do this, but we all wanted to do it in some way or another. And we all had our own kind of ideas, but it was all kind of heading towards the same direction. So I think for me personally, what really hit close to me was really just reuniting this second generation. All of us were together and grew up together, led by our parents, the first generation, forcing us to go to all of these parties and gatherings that none of us wanted to go to. But I cannot tell you how grateful that we were put in that position and forced to go to these, because looking back at all of these people in the community that we know and that we still talk to. So that really kind of hit close, where I want to continue that with the third generation. I want not only the second generation to get reunited, but I want the third generation to unite, because that is something that is probably not really happening. I don't think that we have to do, social events every week or every month, but just the ones that we do, we want to focus on, the second gen reuniting, the first gen uniting, while still upholding that legacy that's being handed down from our first gen.
Terrific. Okay. Maybe the three of you could give me, in your own mind or memory, if the time, a very favorite recall in your memory, that when you were going with your parents, your mom or your dad, around the community, what is the thing that really get imprinted in your mind? Can you please tell me? Okay, I'll start with the president, Michael Almera.
I think it would have to be, for me, it would have to be the Christmas parties.
All right.
When I was young, I remember the Christmas party. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and we would have the Christmas parties at the Park District. And I remember the Santa Claus would come out, and he would start passing out the toys, and I was like, I'm not gonna get anything. I'm not gonna get anything. And then as everyone's name was being called, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get anything. Well, Santa calls my name, and then he brings out this big present, and I was like, wow. That was amazing. I forgot what it was, but it was like this big present, and it was the biggest one in the bag. I was like,
Oh,
oh my
wow.
goodness, okay. Yeah, that was really special for me. So,
great
yeah.
memories. All right,
Yeah.
Joy. What was it?
Oh gosh. Okay, so my dad, as Michael said, has been part of FFS, and my mom, of course. That is true. The wives did a lot of influencing their husbands and partners, and so you know, gosh, there's so many. It's hard to just pick one because some of my favorites are with people that I'm with on eBoard, like RJ and Michelle, and dancing for the Filipino Friendship Society and representing the dance troupe. And we did that for over a year or so, and now we still see each other. On social media, or have a reunion of sorts in an upcoming year at events. So being part of the Filipino dance troupe was something special because we got to do some things and got to meet other Filipinos in the community that we didn't go to school with necessarily. We all didn't go to St. Dominic, or we were in different grades. I am going to share a couple more just because I'm that old. But I would have to say, being part of my own cotillion in 1993, and being part of my sister's cotillion as one of her flower girls, and seeing just the other cotillions that we had as a part of FFS. And you'll see Tito Romy be the father, but also the father figure for other debutantes. And we have our cotillion souvenir books. And so I know back then, I have to agree, back then we didn't know all what it would mean or how it would impact us. But seeing that we got to do that with other debutantes in the Filipino community and their families, and decades later, we can remember, the dance practices, the escorts that we've had, and friendships that we've made. And I think that's why we're still called the Filipino Friendship Society. I could go on and on because there's a lot of events that happened, but those are probably the two because it mixed friendship with my family. The cotillions did. So those were some special moments.
Terrific. Thank you. And you, Rex?
Yes, I will definitely add to the Filipino dance troupe memory. I'm a little younger than Joy, and I was forced to attend a practice for, I didn't really know what it was, but my mom dragged me to Tita Alice's house to practice, to potentially start practicing folk dance. I've never danced a day in my life. I was really young. I think I was only maybe in fifth grade. I don't know, 10 years old or 12, something like that. And I didn't want to be there. There was only Tita Alice's son, who was the same age as me, and these two other girls, and there was the four of us practicing, and I'm doing like these childish dances, these really, I don't want to dance with girls. But I had, she kind of forced me. My mom, let's just say she forced me. And I did it. But what really surprised me, well, I was super shocked. I don't think anybody know this, Joe, you know this, but had no idea that it was part of a bigger group. So within a couple weeks or a week or two, there was officially a practice with everybody, and there was like 30 kids there. And that's when I met Joy, a bunch of other kids in the community that I knew from my sister's friends, and I was just like, wow, I didn't know everybody was here, and it really was just just an amazing time throughout those couple of years. We were a big production. It was a very big deal. We were traveling, doing other, not just FFS events, but we were doing all types of events for the Filipino community. We had young kids to middle to older, the whole age range, and represented in our group. And definitely when we would perform for FFS, the huge Christmas parties, the induction ball, or the cotillions, I mean, those were our big, huge performances that we were gearing up towards. But outside of that, I definitely want to add that, when my dad, he was president for in 89 to 91. So that was definitely some of I think this was even before I was dancing. And I just remember it was the coolest. My dad's the president, and like I felt like he was the man and he was in charge. And to see him up there talking on the podium and addressing, and that just really stuck with me. Just how cool it was to be the son's, president, president's son.
Terrific. Fun memories. One quick
Yes.
question before we sign off. Okay. One by one. Are you planning to have your children and grandchildren with these legacies that you have experienced from your parents?
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Tita V, I have three kids with my husband here in Bolingbrook. And, we had our induction last, earlier
October
this
6th.
month, actually, just a few weeks, what is that, 4 weeks ago? And, and I think my kids and my nieces and nephews, actually, because they participated in my mom's productions, whether there was Santa Cruzan or another church event. And so, my nieces and nephews have been part of FFS, and my sister's kids. And, when I had, when we started meeting, and I had talked to my husband about it, and I think wholeheartedly we wanted this to be part of our family, and bring, some of these memories for even my nieces and nephews. I had family come out from Texas actually for the inauguration, and it was the first time that she saw a Tinikling dance. And I was like, wow, and they saw the two dances that we had because of FFS. For my kids, they've heard about things or stories that we have shared, or my sisters have shared, or my husband has shared in their own, them growing up. And now they can experience it. And so they my second child was asked to escort Rex's niece, And I think they understand a little bit of obligation, but I think they also understand what this means to our culture and carrying it through the next generation. So I think we'll see that. And I as a parent now, I want to balance it a little bit, but I think they understand what the legacy means. You know, as my dad and mom were also officers and presidents, and you know, all of our parents were. And so I think they understand why we would like them to carry this on, and we'll see. We'll see. You know, I think there's a lot of I think what I can share with the next generation and raising some and being around some of the next generation, I think they're just as prideful, if not more, of our Filipino culture.
Great, terrific. Mike or Rex?
I have no kids, so but we definitely want to have
kids.
we definitely want to have the youth involved. We definitely want to have the youth involved in our organization, and we want to influence them to take pride in their Filipino heritage, their history, their culture and traditions, and either through in the classroom or through their parents or their friends. It's important for them to learn our values and to carry that on to the next generation. So yes, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. These are part of, this is not just our values, just as this is our culture, this is our legacy, this is everything that we've known. And I think to add to Joy, you know, I think that this third generation is genuinely interested. And we're kind of seeing this reaction, the support coming from third gen. So now it's really just up to us to help curate some of these events, really make them exciting. You know, I mentioned about reuniting the second gen. I really want to you know, be a spark plug and be an example of second generation. I want to personally reach out to as many second generation friends and old friends that I've had to just get this word out to them, to hopefully, you know, get their support at, you know, at least one event, if not, you know, some events in our future, and just, you know, bring us back together to just have network and just have a good time, catch up on life, catch up on, you know, what we're doing, have our kids. You know, I don't have kids either, TTV, but I have a lot of friends with kids. I have my own nieces and nephews, and it really warms me to think about what we can do and what we could bring to them and teach them what our parents taught us. And so, you know, we want to expand out of Bolingbrook. We want to be an example for all of Chicago, and so hope to be involved with other organizations and do partnerships and collaborations. So there's a lot of, it's exciting. It really is exciting to think about. And again, we're here to reunite and reignite the FFS.
Which is our slogan.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and like keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist.
I can answer the question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be like someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon, this is Brigitte Carino-Cueter bringing you this week's local news from our community. The United States Election Assistance Commission reported that 17.7 million citizens, or just over 40% of Americans with disabilities, voted in the 2020 presidential election, marking a 5.9-point increase in turnout compared to 2016. Of those registered, 11% of voters with disabilities reported having some type of difficulty, representing nearly 1.95 million voters nationwide. This number increased in the 2022 midterm elections to 14%, or 2.2 million disabled voters, with most difficulties reportedly occurring during in-person voting. Disabled voters face significantly greater barriers at the polls compared to voters without disabilities. Several federal laws have been passed to reduce these barriers. Despite federal protections, polling places still struggle to provide accessible voting facilities. Additionally, volunteers often lack the proper training to ensure that disabled voters are treated equitably. Common misconceptions also persist regarding disabled voters' desire and ability to participate in the voting process. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias announced the Illinois Flag Commission received 4,844 entries during the 6-week submission period that closed October 18th. I'm thrilled by the number of submissions the Commission has received, as well as the excitement that this project has generated. I can't wait to see which designs the Commission selects for public voting, Giannoulias said. The contest has encouraged us all to reflect on what makes us proud to be Illinoisans, resulting in some great stories and unique designs reflecting what our state represents. Now that the submission period is closed, the Illinois Flag Commission will meet before the end of the year to select the top 10 designs. Beginning in January, the public will have the opportunity to vote online for one of 10 new designs or one of the 3 former flag designs, including the current state flag, the 1918 Centennial flag, and the 1968 Sesquicentennial flag. On Sunday, October 20th, 2024, King Charles III abruptly departed from a luncheon in his honor at Parliament House in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, after only being present for 10 minutes. This unexpected exit raised questions about his overall health status while touring Australia, as he is presently receiving cancer treatment. King Charles, who was 75 years old, arrived in Australia on Friday, October 18th, having put his cancer treatment on hold for 11 days to undertake this significant overseas trip. Despite his health issues, Charles was able to deliver a brief speech and present lawmakers with a symbolic gift, an hourglass, before leaving the event. Upon presenting the hourglass, he humorously suggested it could be used to keep things brief, flipping the timer and causing laughter among attendees as he quickly exited the event. Over 20 million people watched the conversation between Joe Rogan and Donald Trump in less than 24 hours after it was posted. In under 24 hours, over 20 million people have watched Joe Rogan talk with President Donald Trump, many of whom likely watched all 3 hours. The two men discussed the affection shown by Whoopi Goldberg and the women of The View for Trump before he ran for president, the killing of whales by industrial wind energy, the JFK assassination records, which Trump promised to release if elected, and much more. It was a feast of taboo topics. It was also the latest sign that the American political tide is rapidly turning toward Trump and away from Kamala Harris. A Wall Street Journal poll last week showed Trump narrowly ahead of Harris nationwide, and a CNN poll yesterday showed them tied. Harris's decision to make her closing argument to the American people that Trump is a fascist and Hitler sympathizer was widely viewed as a sign of desperation, and her line of attack, tired to begin with, further fizzled out in the media after she failed to clearly answer questions in a CNN town hall meeting with Anderson Cooper. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Brigitte. See you next time.
It's more fun in the Philippines.